On this episode of Geek Dad Life, we're going to do my year-in toy room tour for 2020. Hello everybody and welcome to Geek Dad Life. It's your host, Jay Gladfelter here. And yes, we are finally closing out 2020. It's been a miserable year, and my toy room tour video from last year was one of my most popular videos. And if you like this one, hit that like button. And if you want to see more videos about the nostalgic things that I love from the 80s and 90s, hit that subscribe button and that bell icon to be notified when the latest episode of Geek Dad Life drops. All right, enough of me talking. Let me grab the camera and we'll start to look around the room and see how it looks at the end of 2020. All right, let's zoom back. All right, there we go. All right, so let's start with the different walls. I'm actually gonna turn off my mic audio here since I won't need that anymore. We'll just go off of this camera. Hopefully that is all right. So let's turn it around here. Now, if you watched last year's video, my room layout is pretty simple. It's kind of four walls, but this year I'll actually be able to show my kind of extended display area in my closet. So we'll start off with the wall that's closest to the door, and then we will go to the playset wall. Then we'll go to the kind of Eternia He-Man wall. Then we'll see the closet for the first time, and then we will close out on the desk, TV, and kind of background wall. So that is our order of things. Okay, so this hasn't changed too much from last year. I've thrown different comics around, put some of the more valuable ones away, but Star Wars, same vehicles up there. Slave One, pretty awesome to have now that Boba Fett has made his triumphant return in The Mandalorian. So again, I go by the movie. So A New Hope is in the first section of this Detolf, and then we have Empire Strikes Back, and then we've got two sections for Return of the Jedi. Got the A-Wing in the background there, and I'm really only one figure away from completing the vintage line. Still is Yak Face, and then we have my Hasbro WWF collection. Nothing's really changed there this year. So we've got my 80s icons, same ones as last time. We got the Soups, we got Venkman, and then we've got the Hot Toys Batman Keaton Bats. Still Star Wars. And then under that, currently there are my G.I. Joe classified figures. That's going to change. I'm going to extend the Star Wars display Black Series. I'm going to put down here and put some shelves up. So this is kind of a temporary placeholder. And then I did move my NECA movie Turtles down here because we got a lot more figures with the Casey Jones. And then I finally broke out last year's Comic-Con set with the Foot Soldiers and Shredder and Splinter. Moving along here. We've got my Kenner Superpowers collection. Again, it's one of my favorite toy lines of all time. I do have the McFarlane Soups there, just because he looks so great in front of the Hall of Justice. And then I have a complete collection of Kenner Superpowers figures. The only thing that makes it not super complete is I'm missing the little accessory for the Parademon, as well as Calabac. But other than that, 100% complete, all there, all in really good shape. And then we also got Batmobile, the Toy Biz Riddler, who falls down because the crappy Toy Biz did not have foot peg holes. So that is a common occurrence for the poor Riddler. I gotta pick him back up and put him in. And then we've got the Playmates Tailspin line, one of my favorites, and also Playmates Darkwing Duck. And then I also got that Crime Fighters kit from Pizza Hut back in the day. My buddy Jason from Cormac Toys gave me, which is really cool. In Humanoids, great toy line. I'm only kind of one of the bigs away, but I don't know if I'll ever have room for him, to be honest. And then we've got my G1 Transformers collection. Now, I really limit myself to finding these in the wild, and you know, I've done a pretty good job, all things considered. I've got just about everybody that you could want for G1. Complete Triptychon. And then more comics, some of my favorites. Gonna try to switch them out, change it up, because this is a lot of what's seen behind me now when I'm doing talking heads and stuff like that, as well as the live shows like Toy Geeks and Screen Geeks. I also got 2 guitars. I've got my Gibson Les Paul. Did a lot of work to this one, replaced the pickups, new bridge. Really, really love this guitar. It's probably my number one. Great sounding, great sounding Les Paul. And then a new addition this year, an American Pro 2 Stratocaster in Miami blue, which it's not picking up how green it is. It looks so freaking cool. Really, really neat guitar. All right, that is that wall. Now let's move on to my favorite wall in this room. That's the Playsets wall. You know, for me, the thing that I love the most about collecting vintage toys is the amazing playsets that came out in the 80s and into the 90s, but mostly the 80s. Just some great playsets that, you know, we'll never see the likes of which again. So we'll start at the top here. Now, the main reason I even wanted to collect the Police Academy line is I did love the movies as a kid. But really, it's because of this play set that when I first saw, I was like, oh my god, is that a reuse of the Firehouse? And it wasn't until later pictures kind of showed it was different. But still, it was like, it's made by Kenner. And when I had the opportunity to pick up a large collection, this is the entire collection I picked up, I absolutely jumped at that opportunity. And then we go to the Ghost Command play set, Filmation's Ghostbusters. One of the great toy lines. Very underrated. The show, not great. But as a big Ghostbusters fan, you have to appreciate Filmation's Ghostbusters by Shopper. They did a really good job. The models, you know, for 1986, they just look great. The Ghost Command playset's one of the greats of all time. Really hard to find. Mine is missing the little arrow sign, and then the other, actually kind of the little ghost guy. He's supposed to go right up here. That's all it's missing though. Everything else is there. It's complete. Very little, I think most of the tabs are unbroken. So just those 2 things, but and the Ghost Buggy, again, one of my favorites of all time. All right, then going to probably my favorite childhood toy line, and probably still my favorite toy line today. That is Kenner's Real Ghostbusters. Now, last year it was pretty much to here is what I had displayed, and then I finally kind of cracked a way to expand it. That I thought would be compelling, and that was basically once I got an Ecto 1A. This one guy, I can't remember his name, on eBay, he makes this really cool stand for Ecto 1s and 1As. Once I could have the Ecto 1A kind of jumping over a hill or something like that, I thought, oh man, that would look really cool. And so once that was kind of cracked for me, I was like, okay, perfect. I can hang the Ecto Bomber up. This is a recreation of the Egon's Lab playset by, God, what are they called? Biff Bam Bang Toys or something like that. They did an amazing job on this recreation. It's actually fully functional. It looks great. So having the Ecto 1A, having Egon's Lab, really just said, okay, now I can have all of these displayed in one spot, and I think it looks pretty cool. Because it is kind of tough with Kenner's Real Ghostbusters, when after the Super Fright Features figures, they all just started to be repaints. So to make that compelling is harder. But I really like how it turned out this year, so that's a big difference from last year to this one. And then we've got Voltron, as well as the Castle of Lions, Fortress of Fangs, LJ's Dungeons and Dragons. Oh, God, again, one of the coolest dang playset. This one's complete. And then you gotta have Mask Boulder Hill if you're gonna have classic playsets. Got most of this in just kind of one fell swoop of a collection. And then more vintage Star Wars. So, you know, if over there is my figure collection, this is my playsets and vehicle collection. So again, just kind of whenever I find a piece that I think would go well or I could fit, I put it over here. So I think the ATST is new this year. I'm not 100% sure if that was there last year. I've got the Gentle Giant Boba Fett hiding right there for right now. I don't know where else to put him at the moment. But there is that. Nothing has changed much on the Turtles except for my Knucklehead. Used to be hanging, but once I did this adjustment, I used to have it kind of hidden behind, I don't know, something back there, but there's so much in here now and it's so layered that there just wasn't room for it, so I gotta figure out how to get that back up, but it shouldn't be too hard. And then Thundercats, again, just fantastic toy line. Hard to find, hard to get figures for, especially complete. And then under that we have the Jurassic Park. And this is basically the same as last year. They're just really, with 2020 there's been no toy shows, so no opportunities to get any more dinos to put in here. I really want, I've had it a couple times, but I need to get it again, the original T-Rex to put in here. And then I want to then display the human figures right up there. So that's the plan, but I have not found them yet. And then I added the little flames, the translucent flames from the Hasbro release for Jurassic World before Mattel took over the license. And since they kind of reused the mold, the little flames fit on the original one. I think it looks pretty cool, since the set was missing those original ones. And then we've got the USS Flagg. I mean, what else is there to say? It's just an amazing playset. One of the big three for G.I. Joe. And originally I thought I was going to put the Defiant there, but I think it's too big. But I'm currently talking to someone, and I may buy a Defiant. Don't know if that's a good idea or not, but we'll see. I don't know. I don't think I have any room for it, so it might be a short-lived acquisition. But still, it's so big. I mean, just looking at scale with these other playsets, which are not small playsets, just show you how it's 7.5 feet long. It's gigantic. And then moving on from there, we have another of the great, huge playsets, the Masters of the Universe Eternia playset. And then I've got the original artwork poster, which kind of inspires the display. Now, the way they framed it, they had this little, somebody put a drink on there or something at some point. So you can see it some ways when you're looking straight on, but you don't see it from the side. But I kind of want to get it reframed to kind of press that out. But so most of the display is set up to kind of match that poster, aside from this She-Ra from Super 7. It just never stands up. So I'm thinking maybe the Origins one, especially the PowerCon exclusive, might take her place. And it looks like the plutonium from Doc Brown's Time Machine ended up there. I don't know how that got there. Again, not much has changed here. Yoda, Vader. He took place at Turbo Man, which is on the other side now, you'll see. And then Pee Wee Herman and a couple of Pee Wee Herman pops. Alright, now, we were not able to look at this last year because it was kind of still in transition. But this, was the closet to the room. And, you know, I kind of was like, well, I have more stuff to display, so I am gonna kind of extend the display into the closet, because this is not my bedroom, it's my office, so I can use it like that. So this is how it is set up currently, and it's not final yet. I don't love aside from these two shelves, everything else can change, and I'm not 100% kind of in stone on how it's set up. So we'll go to that one next, but we'll start here with kind of my extended Ghostbusters display. You know, I've got some of the lunch boxes, the gumball machine, the soap, the first issue of the Now comics. We also have the still unreleased Ghostbusters Afterlife Fright Features figures that I did that video review on. This is my original Proton pack from when I was a kid. So the only things, actually no, I didn't even add anything to it. No, that's all original. It is a childhood survivor. Now the PKE meter of mine as a kid did not survive, nor the armband, so those I have added. And then we've got some more of the role play toys. This is my Ghost Trap. Not my Ecto goggles; those are new ones to replace it. But so that is my kind of real Ghostbusters prop wall, which is fun. And then I found, I believe I got this from John, who I do Toy Geeks with, this old Slimer kind of door warning sign. And then under here, I've got the Diamond Select, kind of with a Series 2 Firehouse facade, which I think looks great with the real Ghostbusters, as well as Hasbro's and Matty Collector's toy line. So I kind of have them all set up here. The thing I love about the Hasbro line is that it matches pretty well with the Matty Collector, so I have them all displayed together. And then I've got my carded examples of the Kenner Classics from Hasbro this past year. And then just, you know, some assorted books that are in our main library section, and also some CDs that for some reason I don't play anymore. I got my Talk Boy right there. Got some Beanie Baby, I love Dr. Seuss, so if I find an old one, I will pick that up. That Gummy Bears cup I have had since I was, I don't know, 2, 3, 4, I don't know when I got that, but I've had it since I was a little kid. And that Batman cup from Taco Bell, I remember when those came out, so I got that one. And then that pencil I've had since I was a little kid. It was my grandma's. Alright, now going to this wall, I have some of my carded, or box I should say, real Ghostbusters. That is a sealed Ecto 1 that I love, and I got for a steal compared to what it would probably go for today. That's my Hot Wheels Elite Ecto 1. I got the Proton back there. I got the Gooper Ghost Squisher, a sealed Highway Haunter, and then some more sealed. That one's actually not sealed. I have the Crash Dummies play set complete in that box. I don't really have anywhere to display it yet. The Super 7 Comic-Con exclusive hoverboard packaging, Marty. That's a Childhood Survivor, Ray right there. Childhood Survivor, Toy Biz Batman, and then not a Childhood Survivor, but still, Pirates of Dark Water was a favorite cartoon as a kid. And then behind this sealed Playmates Darkwing Duck is a sealed Pirates of Dark Water Wraith. And then we go to my sealed Turtles. I got a lot of stuff back there, but soft head Turtles, I got Mikey and Donatello. Again, bargain prices. So I really don't buy until I find them for the right price. So I think I got those both for $25 to $30 each. And then my sealed, unpunched Casey Jones, my favorite from the original line. And I got my movie star turtles as well. This Retro Mutant Ooze still has Ooze in it. And then I had an extra Krang's android body figure there. And then down on this level, we got the Sesame Street Fisher-Price Little People playset with a lot of the extra figures that they released over time. I think this is, again, one of my favorite sets from when I was a kid. And I also got the Pinmates Deadpool up there. And then the Castle set Dragon, which my kids play with now, but I kept the Dragon because it's a pretty rare piece and I didn't want them to trash it. And that's my candle for when I was 2 years old. This is a really cool Winnie the Pooh figure from the 1960s that I found in a vintage store, like an antique store. I've never seen another one like it, but it just looks really, really cool. It's like a vinyl. Pee-wee's Playhouse was one of my favorite shows as a kid. And while I had a lot of these figures, I never had the play set. So this was all in one collection that I found at a flea market. It was all in there. It was actually pretty grimy, but I was able to clean it up pretty well. And yeah, it was kind of like a whole collection in one. And it's just, oh God, it looks so awesome. And then the Smurfs. Again, who didn't have these as a kid? And God, I whenever I find one, I'll pick it up and add it to the collection. But the play sets that they came with were just awesome, just amazing detail. Because it's a really cool line, and again, you can find them all the time. So it's a neat one just to kind of collect because there's always Smurfs at toy shows and stuff. This is a Disneyland yo-yo from I think '89 or '88. They're doing a blast from the past, like a 50s thing at Disneyland. And then we've got, still think the best Inspector Gadget toy of all time. I think from Galoob. Might be from Galoob. May have to edit that after the fact. But again, it's one of the best. Teddy Ruxpin and Grubby. Gotta have those, right? Grubby was always a favorite as a kid. Stay Puft, that's the original Stay Puft before Kenner got the license. So that was one of the first pieces of Ghostbusters merch. This is kind of a placeholder, really. Actually, most of the origin figures that I have are over back where I film the reviews and stuff for the Lords of Power set. So to do some comparison shots there. But whenever the new Grayskull comes out, it's going to go here as well as a display with the figures. And then the Pirates of Barracuda Bay, Deep Sea, Black Seas Barracuda, as well as some of the other pirate sets. Now I have too many Ecto ones, but this one is probably my nicest one. And then was able to add this kind of custom roof rack like I was able to do with the Ecto 1A that I have. Which is really, really clean. I've had it for a while. It was given to me as a birthday gift. So it has sentimental value as well. So yeah. This is just placeholder right now. Rebels, Black Series sets, the Super 7 Turtles. I gotta figure out how I'm gonna display that. And then a bunch of vintage toy cases, as well as just some random figures. Hey, the Micro Machines. Alright, last wall in here. Just a bunch of random carded figures that I have. I love card art. So some of my favorites are here. Some notable Ecto Glow Peter Venkman. The first series Unpunched Peter Venkman. Screaming Heroes Peter Venkman. Power Pack Heroes Peter Venkman. I got Power Pack's hero Ray Stantz. Can you tell Peter Venkman's my favorite? I got the original 8-bit zombie Thrasher figure, Thrashor. First 3 Wolverines. Again, some of my favorites as a kid. Like this, I would buy a whole bunch of these Wolverine figures so I would always lose the mask. But you could always find them, they're so cheap. In Toy Biz Superheroes, love that line. And then again, just a bunch of random action figures. Some that I've had since I was a kid, and some that I had as a kid and then lost and found again. So if I don't have enough of them to make a big display out of, they kind of go there. Alright, and then the last wall. This hasn't changed too much, but there are a few squares that have changed. So I did, where the Jurassic Park command set was, I actually had pretty much a complete collection of Brave Star figures and play sets and vehicles and everything. So I still love that line. I want to display it, so I did a smaller version in this little square. So that is, I have everything else still in storage, and if I display it somewhere else at some point, it's ready to go. And then the Tron display is new, as I found more figures to kind of flesh out a display, as well as a great Comic-Con exclusive VHS style Tron. I moved this around a little bit too. This was the Pizza Hut Land Before Time set. Crash Test Dummies. Crash Dummies, one of my favorite lines. Mattel's Hook, another favorite. And then I added the NECA Godzilla and NECA King Kong to go with my vintage Imperial 85, as well as my Mego 77 King Kongs. I don't think I added anything to the Toy Story collection. And then I also added another rack for more guitars. Yay! Guitars. These two Washburns for my playing in a band days. And then I had this Taylor Forever. This is a Music Man Cutlass. Just plays like butter. And then this is a replica Frankenstein, Eddie Van Halen. And then in here I just have a practice amp setup, so I've got an orange micro dark and then a little amp there. The big amp setups actually at the rehearsal space for the band. And then the other big change is the desk was a big rearrangement from where it was last year. I flipped the direction. Now that my wife has her own office across the way, I could fully dedicate this to be just my space. Colleen used to sit on the other side, or we would do podcasts together. We would sit on either sides. But now she has her own desk in her own office space. I can make it a full-fledged space for my videos. So I have the ring light there, and then will set up the camera right here. But as well as for the live shows, this is my control deck that I do that from, and then a Podcaster Pro, Procaster mic, dual monitor setup. Works great for me. And then I have a little Padre section here now. A lot of Fernando Tatis cards. He's amazing. My Tony Gwynn shrine is in the game room area, so he gets his full dedicated space out in the game room area. And then Centurions, slowly but surely, I've got two, but the more that I get will kind of flesh out this space right here. And then I've got all of my kind of kids stuff they've made for me, as well as pictures right next to me. And then this last bit, I've been fortunate to host panels at Comic-Con for over a decade for the TV show Lost. And then this is a cast signed Hamilton, original Broadway cast, fully signed playbill with everybody. And then right there on the star, Lin-Manuel Miranda in the silver. Apple 5-year award, used to work there. VHS collection. And then the main thing that's behind me in a lot of the videos, I rearranged this year. More rearranging to come. I got that Slave 1, so probably the Slave 1's gonna go here where the Superman is, the NECA Superman, and then I'll move him somewhere else. But made it a little bit more diverse, but more, a spattering of everything. Since this is what's behind me in a lot of my shots, so I want to have it kind of represent as much of what I'd probably talk about on this channel. And yeah, so that is where it is. And then I have the both Lego Ecto ones here, which is awesome. Zach and I finished that. whole bunch of pics because you never have enough pics. I got my baby Yoda with the chicken nuggies. And yeah, there's my Sony Trinitron from 1988 to rock my VHS tapes with. And that's it. So there you have it. There is my toy room collection for 2020. Let me know what'd you think? What did you think of the things that I changed? What maybe should I do? How should I do it differently? I definitely have different ideas for how to God, there's a million things I kind of want to change over time, but this is as it is right now. This is kind of like my space to be creative and to be inspired by the things that have inspired me throughout my entire life. So there you have it. I hope everybody has a great New Year's, and hopefully we will be able to say goodbye to this crummy year and start fresh in 2021. Have a whole bunch of videos planned for this new year, and hopefully we'll finally get to see some of those movies like Ghostbusters Afterlife. Look forward to talking about that, and you know, a whole bunch of toys that I'm sure are going to come out, among many, many, many other things. So definitely hit that like button, hit subscribe, and click on that bell icon to be notified when the latest episode of Geek Dad Life drops. And until next time, hasta luego.